I don't know if you can hear me, Mike. I'm out here in the wilds of Alaska, ready to bring the fantasy forecast and my top 5 rookie running backs and listen to yours. Producer! Haha, psych. I'm not really in the wilds of Alaska. It's just a green screen background, Mike. Hey, welcome to the Fantasy Forecast with Grindberg and Bigz. He is Grindberg. I am Bigz.
Triple Benson!
And we're here to bring you our top 5 rookie running backs because it's draft season and spotlight a rookie running back. Also, my girlfriend just gave me vodka.
Perfect. Exactly what we all need is a little bit of vodka in our life. Some potatoes. It's like a vegetable, right? You know what I mean?
Vodka that tastes extraordinarily like Beefeater gin.
Ah.
Not a sponsor, but hey, Beefeater, reach out.
Reach out. We want you.
Also, Bubbly, not a sponsor, but reach out. Or Waterloo, reach out.
Let's do it. So, Bigz, we've got some running backs here. And we talked about running backs like last week quite a bit in depth, actually. You covered Braylon Allen and Audric Estime. I touched base on Jonathan Brooks and Marshon Lloyd, and we had a couple fades. And now this week we're going to talk about our top 5 rankings, and then you're also going to spotlight another guy. I like your guy that you're spotlighting. So let's talk about your top 5 and how it shapes up.
Well, as you know, Mike, we love our viewers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, click the bell, comment. But, sometimes they can have short memories. So, we'll do a little bit of a refresher. All right, so my top 5 rookie running backs with landing spots. Number 1, and you know this because you watched episode 7. You've watched all of our episodes, so I'm going to say my running back 1 is Braylon Allen, and I have him going to the Dallas Cowboys. I feel like the Cowboys are really interested in running back. They are having visits with more running backs than any other team, and I think that they're going to take Braylon Allen as the first running back off the board. Number two, and you should know this from watching all of our shows, is Audric Estime from Notre Dame. That's a cut from when I saw him play. I have him going to Buffalo. Can you imagine a Detroit-style Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery situation in Buff with James Cook and Audric Estime? Be beautiful. I'm here for it. My number 3 is Blake Corum. I have him going to the Chargers just like everybody else does, because nobody has any imagination anymore. My number 4 is Jonathan Brooks. Pre-injury, he might have slotted in as my number 1. Of course, you know that from watching the show. And I have him going to Carolina. I think he would be a great pick for Carolina. Let Chuba Hubbard keep the fire cooking until Jonathan Brooks is ready to wrest the spot away from him. And my number 5 is a little guy from Clemson. Name is Will Shipley. And I have him going to the Raiders of Las Vegas because they have a running back room that's kind of in flux. They lost Josh Jacobs. Zamir White is the RB1. Alexander Madison is a break glass in case of emergency. What's the saying that we tell all of our employees when we have like a vacation or go away for the weekend or whatever? Call me if you need me, but don't need me. That's Alexander Madison. And then Amir Abdullah. He's an 84-year-old third down running back. So basically what they need to do is bring in a third down running back. Will Shipley is perfect. Because he can fit that third down running back role. He's an excellent receiver and an excellent route runner, as he showed when he was at Clemson. And also, he could take over in case something happened to Zamir White, and he'd be a much better option than Alexander Madison. But I'll get into all that when I get into my running back spotlight. Producer, hit it.
Hey, and we're back. We don't have a spotlight for your guy because you missed him up in the middle of the pie. Remember that?
Well, you're supposed to like mouth the music and do like running back pantomime and stuff.
We've got a ship coming in.
Okay.
And his name is Will Shipley. And Bigz is going to spotlight him.
My running back spotlight is Will Shipley, running back out of Clemson. Of course, you probably heard me say that a couple minutes ago. Why, Bigz? Why is he your spotlight running back if he's only your 5th ranked running back? Well, I'll tell you because I've already talked about Braylon Allen and Audric Estimé enough. But Will Shipley, believe it or not, was a 4-star recruit out of high school. Oh, wait. According to 24/7, he's a 5-star recruit out of high school. Now, when you go back and break down all of the success in the NFL and you look at it through the eyes of their recruiting position and things like that, 5-star running backs have the best careers in the NFL, and Will Shipley was that. He's an excellent receiver, like I said. He's very similar in size to Jahmyr Gibbs, only he's a little bit bigger. I think he's 2 inches taller, and he's about 10 pounds heavier, which certainly will, go further for him in the NFL. He's super fast. He has an excellent athletic profile, and not a lot of people are talking about him. He doesn't have a lot of hype, so I wanted to talk about him. I like him a lot. I think he's a do-it-all back, and I think he's going to be an incredible value. If you recall, in our running back episode a couple episodes ago, I mentioned about Audric Estimé. He's the kind of running back that could get drafted 3rd or 4th rounder and kind of, be under the radar and then hit when somebody in front of him goes down. And Will Shipley is the exact same way. He will be drafted for a specific role, which he could fit right away. But if something happens to the starting running back, he's definitely capable of taking over, similar to what Rachaad White did, similar to what Dameon Pierce did a couple of years ago. Like he has that profile that he can take over a backfield. So Will Shipley spotlighted.
So some people are like actually comparing him to Christian McCaffrey. Do you think that is warranted?
Similar style, but McCaffrey, one of the things when he came out that was like a concern was his size, but he gained 15 or 20 pounds or something like that. And I can totally see Will Shipley doing the same. I mean, NFL players are built different, and if you need to pack on 15 pounds of muscle in 6 months, the NFL has ways. They have ways. So yeah, I totally see the profile. I understand the similarity in the comp, and I'm here for it. However, that's pretty lofty, and Christian McCaffrey is somewhat of an outlier. Not a lot of people produce the way that he does or has, and I don't know if we can expect that. But hey, if it's Will Shipley, it's Will Shipley.
There's a lot of big name guys in the industry that are high on Will Shipley, and you're one of them. I'm one of them. So I'm on the Will Shipley ship, and he's gonna bring us to championships this year. I'll tell you that. Let's go, Will Shipley. Now, for me, I've got a very different top 5, and that is normal because a lot of analysts these days have got very different top 5s, especially with this class that has been so fluid. There hasn't been a guy that has ever emerged really.
There is no consensus at running back.
Exactly. So let's get into what I think here, and my top 5 starts with Jonathan Brooks. And I have him going to the Houston Texans. I really love to see that landing spot. They just brought in Joe Mixon, and I think Jonathan Brooks needs a year to kind of redshirt year style because of that ACL injury that he took there. That injury is plaguing his situation, and it has been there. It's baked into his draft capital. But I think if he can get into a spot where he can, have some time to rest. I mentioned it last week on the show. Jonathan Brooks is a league winner for me down the stretch. So he's my RB1 just based off talent alone. And his ACL injury definitely is a concern. My number 2 is Trey Benson, and I have him going to the Cardinals. I think they need somebody to come in there, take some the pressure off of James Conner, and I think down the line Trey Benson could be a good fit there. I also have Braylon Allen going to your Cowboys, not your Cowboys, but your Braylon Allen going to the Cowboys, which I think would be just a beautiful landing spot for any one of these running backs, including Trey Benson. My number 4 is Blake Corum, and I don't have him going to the Chargers. I have him going to randomly the Seahawks because that's just a move the Seahawks would make. And then I've got Marshon Lloyd as my number 5, and I like him going to the Chargers. Greg Roman, seen him in the past, similar style. I know they just brought in J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, but I just think Marshon Lloyd would fit in really well with that offense. So he's my number 5. And then
I thought you were going to talk about Marshon Lloyd. I don't mean to be that guy, but Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet in Seattle already. Yeah, I know it's Charbonnet. Don't get out of the comments. Comment on something else. I don't understand why you did you spin a wheel to come up with that? How do you have the Seahawks drafting a running back?
I mean, the Seahawks draft running backs, and the Seahawks do unconventional things like sign Tyler Lockett or bring in a guy like Roma Dunze for a visit, or Malachi Corley. Yesterday, Malachi Corley visited the Seahawks. Do the Seahawks need a wide receiver? No, they don't. So I just think it's a move that just out of the blue could happen, and it's just a shot in the dark. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen, but it could happen, and it would just be a funny situation for the Seahawks to bring in another running back.
You guys out there in viewerland, put a pin in that, and when it happens, say Grindberg sent you.
Grindberg sent you. But my spotlight is a guy that I just haven't talked much about, and he's my number 2 running back in this class. And as a runner, Trey Benson is a load. He's a true power back who drives over defenders and constantly bursts through tackles. Gives you that strength and physicality, and he's good in short yardage and goal line back situation. So I think a team is really going to like Trey Benson. He breaks tackles. He does a lot of really good things with his legs. He gets a lot of yards after contact, and he finishes runs really well. He's hard to bring down, and I like that about him. He is not just a power back. He likes to accelerate downfield. He's got good contact balance, and his patience allows him to see those holes before, and he can get to those holes. So he will get through tackles. His legs, don't go dead on contact either. So he can really, really make those extra yards out of nothing. I love his vision. He has been decisive as a runner. So, Trey Benson is moving up right away. And as a receiver, he will need some work. He does flash the ability to contribute as a receiver, but still he needs to develop in his route running and stuff like that, and especially in his pass protection. But Benson is my RB2 in this draft because of some of the big things he brings. He brings that stability to the table with that size. He can be a physical force. He's good for a volume back play. He'll get plenty of it. He's strong. He's built like a good running back, 6 feet, 200 pounds. He's got a powerful lower body.
216, 215, 216.
216. Okay, sorry, I misread that. But he never quits. The guy is just nonstop. I've seen some good runs from him, and I think his vision can identify the lanes inside and out. And I think he can just be the back that people like, and he's more of a safe option. He's a guy that, I think he's going to garner that draft capital that people are going to look for. He's going to be a stability, and he's my RB2 in this class. I think he's one of the more safer plays, in my opinion, and in this class, that's kind of what we're looking for, is some safety there.
Okay, fair enough. And again, put a pin in that, and when it happens, tell him Grindberg sent you.
Grindberg sent you.
Hey, that'll do it.
Right, Bigz.
Yeah. Tell us where to find us. I can be found at Big Boned FFB over on the Twitter machine. That's at BIGBONEDDFFB. F as in Frank twice. FFB. Big Boned FFB. And he is Grindberg at FF. That's F as in Frank. F as in Frank. Not S as in Sam. S as in Sam. At FF Canuck with one N. 99 Gretzky, not FF Canuck 99 Gretzky, FF Canuck 99 full stop Gretzky. Like the video, comment down below, give us some feedback, like argue with us, tell us we're wrong, share it around, hit the bell so you get notified next time one of our episodes drops, and find us on the Twitter machine, and watch all of our shows on all the other platforms, but especially Fantasy Forecast here on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. We love you guys and hope you win.
Question for you, Bigz.
Bye now. Oh, what?
Where are you going to be in August?
Well, August 1st, I'm going to be here in Davis, California, beautiful Northern California. It's going to probably be about 108 to 115 degrees. August 2nd, I'm going to still be here. August 15th, I'm going to be in Canton, Ohio for the Fantasy Football Expo, sponsored by Fantasy Football Advice Network. And, as soon as an opportunity comes up to volunteer to be in the booth, I'm going to jump at it. So you guys meet us there.
Brendan Booth in the Fantasy Football Advice Network booth. We got it down. We are the lead sponsor. Check us out there. We are going to be there.
And Mike Lindbergh and the Fantasy Football Advice Network. Lindbergh.
Yeah, it doesn't work as good as Booth, but all right. We'll see you next week, folks. Have
Hope
a great week.